Welcome everybody, it's Michelle. I so appreciate you stopping by my channel today for something a little different. If you're here, it's because you know that my channel is all about creativity and art. I do a lot of paper craft and junk journaling, even some clay. But today, I want to explore creativity with nature. Sometimes we lose our mojo, and I certainly am in the middle of that right now. So when that happens, I try to find something to inspire me. I've had videos in the past of going to a museum, but today I'm going to show you some creativity with nature. It is winter and we are in full force. We're having storms every few days, and I am outside looking for inspiration from nature. Look at these cattails. They look like there's a snowball sitting on every single one. I look down and I see some prints from a deer. We had a visitor this morning, it appears, and I'm going to follow those prints. And as I follow them, I end up across the street at a park that's right across the street from my house. And I'm looking at the snow getting caught in the fence, and it reminds me of snowballs. Snowballs like we just saw in the cattails. And that reminds me of an Instagram post I saw recently of somebody who made a sculpture out of snowballs. And I think, that's what I'm going to do today. So I walk a little bit further and I see this tree and it has like a gap in it, and I decide to fill the gap with snowballs. A little bit reminiscent of the post I had seen. I'm thinking, why not? It's a beautiful, quiet winter morning, and this is exactly what I need, just to play, to not have any expectation, to do something I've never done before. So I simply start making snowballs of every size, big and small, and I'm just fitting them in the center gap of the tree. And it almost becomes meditative, like I'm not even thinking about it. It's really calming, and I'm starting to really have fun. And I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this quote-unquote sculpture? What do I want it to look like? I think I'd like it to catch the eye of someone and have someone think, why the heck are there snowballs? Obviously, this is very intentional. What was somebody doing? What were they thinking? And I just start having fun with that idea. Oh, and I just lost a bunch of my snowballs, but I'm not deterred. I'm going to continue. I think, though, that having snowballs in this crevice or crack just really isn't enough for me. So I decide to start making a trail. Start making like a path that will make my eye. And again, as a artist or somebody doing collage, we'd always have a focal point, and then we'd have our eye drawn from one space to another. I'm trying to do the same thing with this. I'm trying to have the eye go from low to high. And I'm starting to think, like, what else can I do? That my creativity is starting to awaken by this silly little experiment of making snowballs and putting them in the crack of a tree. It's so funny. My Fitbit, not my Fitbit, but my Apple Watch, I ended up walking like 2 miles just going back and forth, making these little sculptures you're going to see today. And it was really a lot of fun. So anyway, I decided to make that little path that I have in my head, like this little trail of snowballs that leads from the ground up. And now look at, I'm trying to jump and make the path go, the little like trail or the little pattern go higher. It's ridiculous. I'm sure anyone in the park thought I was crazy, but it was really fun. And this is kind of how it turned out. It was the first time I tried it. I don't know what I think of it, and it doesn't even matter, because again, this isn't about the product. It's about the process. So I end up going on the trail and I make a couple more really small, strange little sculptures as I'm walking. And then I come across one of my favorite tree stumps that's completely hollowed out inside. And I'm like, what would that look like if I filled the tree stump with snowballs? So I just start filling, making snowballs that are big and small, and thinking to myself, my challenge here is to make as many snowballs that will stay lodged in this crevice as I can. For those of you who are familiar with the game Jenga, think of it as snow Jenga. And it was really like making me problem solve. I had to carve out areas so that would stay onto the bark. I was using my hand to melt the snow so that they would stick together and ice together. I was having so much fun that it got so high I had to move the camera so that you can see how far I'm going. I'm about 5 foot 4.5, so I'm thinking I'm reaching about to the 6 foot mark here. And I have filled this crevice completely with all different size snowballs, and I'm just having so much fun. And really, this is the most creative I have felt in weeks. Like, my mojo has been gone, and this little experiment was totally making me happy. I had this silly little grin on my face the whole time. People were walking by, and now look what happens. I'm pushing it. I'm thinking, can I get it a little bit higher? And as I put it higher, you're going to see that I get a snowball right in my eye, like completely square in my eye. And oh my gosh. I cracked myself up so much at that. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm in the middle of the woods laughing at myself. And I thought this was the best thing that I have done for myself in a couple of weeks. This was just a lot of fun. And as I start going higher and higher, I start talking to the camera, asking, do you think I can go higher? I don't know if I can go higher. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can go any higher. Can you see? It's really high. I don't know if I can go any higher. Let's see. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think I can go any higher. So I guess that's the answer to my question. Was I able to get some creative juices going out here in the woods? Was I able to find some mojo? Yes. Yes, I found some mojo, and I found some fun. And I had so much fun just playing and acting like a kid and not thinking and creating. And I encourage everybody to get out. Even if you don't have snow, you might have sand, you might have rocks, you might have shells. You might be able to weave grass. Go out in nature. Find some free art supplies. Get creative and have fun this weekend. Hope to see you soon. Bye. So grab a couple friends or a couple kids and go out and make some weird art in the woods. See what happens. I bet you'll find your mojo too.